ROS2 is a big framework, and you might have experienced that when working with it, bringing simulation, developing software, there are a lot of commands that you have to keep track of. With experience, you remember them, but there are ways to make things speed up by using aliases and ROS extensions. Let's start with the basic steps, how to speed up your workflows for ROS based development. Firstly, we need to understand the importance of good code editor. When you are working with packages, you create packages using your terminal by going into your workspaces in the source directory and you perform ROS2 package create. You press enter, it creates a C++ based package in the source directory. And then you go into your package, you see a lot of files, and when you want to edit these files, it becomes quite hard for you to edit one single line and make the change, then go into another file that you want to work with. So this way gets harder, although you can do the work. So that's why we have VS Code, which makes a lot of our life easy by directly utilizing its feature of file managing as well. For example, if I go into the source directory of this another workspace I have, all of the packages are now listed here and I get the version control as well. In the drive down package, I can go into the source directory, make changes in this node, go into that, and it is much easier than the previous way of editing the files using the simple text editor. Now in VS Code we have a very interesting extension, and that is ROS extension by Microsoft. This ROS Microsoft extension of VS Code is very useful. Specifically, I use it for mostly writing the URDFs and the debugging purposes, and interestingly there are a lot of documentation available. Let's take a look into a URDF file, description URDF, and if this is the URDF file I am working with and I want to create here, let's say a joint. First let's create a link, so I'll just type link, and there are a lot of options by this ROS extension. I will press link full, I get this whole XML syntax link to be added into my URDF. Similarly, once that is done, I will go into the joint full, and a joint can be easily created with just 2 clicks. I can define what type of joint I want, and it can be fixed or any other type that I want to create. In simple words, it saves a lot of your time and it automates a lot of your work. And interestingly, there are a lot of detailed videos for this specific ROS extension for ROS1 and ROS2 with SSH and containers, debugging and installation on Windows as well. Definitely check out this extension as well as these videos by polyhobbyists. When you are starting out in your ROS development journey, you might need to remember the commands for your projects. Now these commands can be confusing as well sometimes, so what I suggest is to write all of these commands in a text file and you can call them whenever you need. These commands are written here in the ROS2 commands.txt placed in the home directory. When I am developing, if I am performing calc and build and I'm running some nodes, ROS2 run teleop twist keyboard, and if I want to run the message type of certain thing, let's say with Control Shift and I open this ROS2 topic list, I get command velocity as the topic and I want to know about this command velocity. So ROS2 topic info command velocity. Now the geometric message trace, it's an interface. I want to check the interface and I am unable to do that because I don't remember the command. So I will perform cat and the path to the file, which is home directory and ROS2 commands. At this specific point you can see I get the list with the explanation. It's a just simple txt file, and regarding the task I was doing, interface type replaced the interface with standard message string, meaning that if I want to find out the interface or message type, I can use this command. So Control Shift V, and the interface type I am interested in is this specific type. And here you can see I got the information about this interface, but with the help of commands that I might not be able to remember in the start, I get through this process of cat the commands.txt that I saved. If you can see here, I have multiple ROS2 workspaces. The first one is this ARM workspace, then robotism workspace, then there should be a ROS2 workspace and learners workspace. All of these contain multiple different packages, might be of the same name or might have different names, but these all are ROS2 workspaces. The problem comes when I have two different workspaces with same packages. For example, here I have in ROS2 learners package, I have navigation TB3, robot mat, turtlebot 3 gazebo. If I open up ROS2 workspace, which is another different workspace, it contains turtlebot 3 simulation, which contains turtlebot 3 gazebo, which is also here, and these packages are also available in some of the other directories. The thing is, which specific package is going to be loaded when I execute the command of same launch files. For example, when I say ROS2 launch turtlebot 3 gazebo and turtlebot 3 world.launch.py, it executes some command and it is running perfectly. But I will stop it here and I will ask this simulation to tell me which launch file have you executed. ROS2 package prefix, which tells us the path to the package, turtlebot 3 gazebo. Press enter. And interestingly, it is neither using learners workspace nor ROS2 workspace. So what I have to do, I have to source it all the time whenever I want to use specific one. Now if I run this, it says this is the last source turtlebot 3 workspace and this is now the path. If I want to open the right side, I have to perform source ROS2 workspace install setup bash, and then if I prefix it, it tells us that now you are using ROS2 workspace, not the learners workspace. So in this whole process, a lot of time gets consumed, specifically when writing this source command, which I have to write for different workspaces when I'm working on the packages. The point here is you can simplify this thing by putting it in the form of alias in your bash rc file. How to do that? You can directly go into the home directory and you can press Ctrl H to show hidden files, and there is this bash rc file. I mostly utilize VS Code for that, and I would just write the command code path to bash rc file, press tab rc, and it is going to open the bash rc file. Now this file is really important for your system, so you should not mess with it. And here you can see there are some workspace sourcing. I would also add ROS2 alias, and let me bring some of the alias that I have already created. Now these three has been added. I have to source my bash rc file as changes are made. Now if I go into my learners workspace, I'm already there. If I go into ROS2 workspace and I just write SWS, this SWS has automatically written this whole command and executed it. ROS2 package prefix turtlebot 3 gazebo, and you can see ROS2 workspace is sourced. So you see the importance of these aliases, that you can directly write CBS. It is going to perform call can build as well as source it. If I go into ROS2 workspace and instead of writing this whole command of call can build and source install, it is automatically going to perform building, although there is an error, but it is going to build it and it is going to save a lot of time. You can also add one important command, which is for creating the package. ROS2 package create build type cmake, and you write the name of the package. You first create an alias, something that you can remember, ROS package C, meaning C++ package, and you can bring this whole command and just paste it, and all of the time you don't need to remember it. Source our bash rc file as changes are made. Now here if I want to create the package, I would just write pkgc, which is quite easy to write, and name of the package test package, and you can see the package has been created. So this saves a lot of time when developing, specifically call can build and sourcing when you are working on multiple workspaces. So these tools and tricks can drastically increase your productivity and reduce the time that you used to spend on useless things. But the real magic comes at the point when you tailor all of these steps according to your needs, your style of programming.